Welcome back, folks. The Dakota Valley boys basketball team will go down as one of the most successful teams in South Dakota high school history. Back-to-back state titles and a 53-game winning streak. But like any other team, they face their own challenges each day. SportsFource's Amber Salas has more.
Undefeated for 2 full seasons, back-to-back state championships. It was 2 years full of indescribable highs for Dakota Valley basketball. Highs that a father and son shared. That's head coach Jason Kleis and his son, senior wing Sam Kleis. It's a moment Dad at one point doubted would ever come.
There were many times where I wondered, okay, is he going to be a high school basketball player in any kind of way, shape, or form or not? And, you know, he just kept grinding.
On February 21st, 2005, Jason Kleis and his wife Shelly welcomed Sam into the world. Then came the shocking news that Sam was deaf.
First you're shocked, you're scared, you're nervous, you cry, you're fearful, you don't know what that's going to look like because we don't have anything like that in our family, and there was really no explanation the doctors gave us for why that was.
So the Kleises wondered what would happen next. For Sam, he got cochlear implants to help improve his hearing.
And I remember it like it was yesterday. They called a night or two before his 10-month birthday and said that the FDA had just approved, now down to 10 months old, could get them. And
to that point, kids couldn't get cochlear implants until they turned 1. Sam became one of the youngest people to ever get a cochlear implant at 10 months old in Kansas City. He gradually adapted to them and developed a love for sports, but sports presented new challenges.
I remember going to basketball tournaments and they'd have multiple games on each court, and I would have a really hard time here differentiating the whistles between each court.
I remember him just kind of looking around like a rag doll out there, people yelling in a gym and not knowing where sound was coming from, not knowing what was going on a lot of the time. And it was hard to watch as a parent, but also you had this inner thought that, okay, this is going to make him tougher and make him better.
Sam persevered with the help of his family, and he always had the inspiration of his dad's own team, the Dakota Valley Panthers.
I'd be manager or ball boy for the high school team back then, and that's how I remember falling in love with the game the best, is being manager for high school. And I just learned a lot through that.
It all came full circle 4 years ago when Sam realized a dream by joining the Panther basketball program.
I remember it always being my dream to play for the Panthers one day, and so now doing that and winning 2 state championships is incredible.
But the state champion medal means so much more than just winning for Sam. It signifies all that he had to overcome.
It was special because I remember just all those hours I put in the gym, especially with my dad. You know, we'd go shoot after hours, and it just led up to that point, and it was a lot of hard work, but it paid off.
All right, Sam, lots of memories and time spent in this gym. What are you going to remember the most about your time as a Dakota Valley basketball player?
I just have countless memories of being with my dad on and off the basketball court, and being with my teammates and doing fun stuff together.
Coach Kleis always knew that basketball had the power to teach Sam the ultimate life lesson to persevere and never give up.
I'm a firm believer, the longer I coach, that basketball teaches us so many things, is a great metaphor for life, and he's overcome a lot of challenges to get where he has today, and I think a lot of that is because of basketball.
In North Sioux City, South Dakota, Amber Salas, KTIV SportsFource.
And as the basketball chapter closes for Sam Kleis, he looks forward to some new goals and dreams. He wants to be a commercial pilot, and he plans to study aviation at South Dakota State in the fall.
So far, he's accomplished everything he has set his mind to. I have no doubt he will be a commercial airline pilot.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to make it.